Okay, folks, we are here live playing Elite Dangerous on the PS4. This is my sixth live stream in the series. As promised, I haven't shown every little bit of grinding that I've been doing and fumbling around learning controls. But so I've been playing offline a bit, picked up a few tricks, watched a few other videos on YouTube to kind of get the hang of it, and I kind of got a better idea of what I'm doing now and what I want to show you. So what I'm going to focus on tonight is one of the easiest ways for beginners to make money, and that's by doing some basic bounty hunting. There's some how to find the right kind of areas and what to do, and it's really safest to do when you're a brand new player because the starter ship that you get has a zero insurance cost. What that means is if you screw up and you get killed, well, you'll lose any bounties that you've earned but haven't cashed in yet. But when you get killed, when your ship gets destroyed, you'll have to pay the insurance cost to replace it, and well, if you have a more advanced ship, it's going to cost you some money, and you better have that money in the bank or you're going to be out of luck. But the starter ship costs nothing to replace, so if you're already in the starter ship, this is really a no-loss way. So what you got to do is find a good place to go bounty hunting. You'll have to spend a little time searching around for good targets. You kill someone who's got a price on their head, and you get a credit for it. Next time you land at a station, you can cash that in. And like I said, if you get killed along the way, you will lose what you'll lose any bounties that you've collected but haven't cashed in. But you know, it's a relatively low risk. If I've seen stories of people doing this for hours at a time and collecting big amounts of money. It looks like a couple of people are dropping in. Hello, Jacob and Christopher, if you're watching. And we're going to get in and start playing. How many channels do I have? Well, I just have the one channel, but I play a bunch of different games. I've got, if you look through my playlists, you'll see all the different games that I've been playing. So what we're going to do here, we're going to take a quick look. I'm actually in a good system to be doing this in. We'll take a look at the system map real quick. The best areas to bounty hunt are resource extraction areas that are near a station that you can land at. Easiest place to find resource extraction areas is any planet with rings, and you can see the system has 2 ring planets and the station's near each of it. This is the one I'm at. That's really close, so it's going to be pretty easy to get around here. I'm not going to go into how to use the map, the galaxy map and such. There's plenty of other YouTube videos about that. So what I'm going to do, if I come down here onto my navigation beacon, you see I'm here at this planet by the little triangle, upside down triangle mark. And we come down, there's a list of these resource extraction sites. Conflict zones is another place where you can go to hunt targets. I'm not going to get into that now. That's a little different. I haven't quite figured that out yet. You notice some of them are marked as hazardous. At first, you probably want to stay away from that. Look for one that's marked as low for first. So I'm going to lock that in as our target destination. And we're going to go back to our main menu. Take off and head there. Have I ever tried Rocky Roads, the candy bar? No, I have not. Okay, so this is a very small station. It's just basically a floating platform out in space, so there's no docking port to navigate through. Basically, it's real simple. Just get off the landing pad and fly out of the way. And I'm gonna circle around, get a little bit of distance from this target. And there's our resource extraction point. Got to get a little bit of distance from this station before it'll let me go into high-speed mode. And we are ready. So we're gonna charge up our drives and launch.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
And we are now in Super Cruise. It's pretty short hop to this site. So I'm not gonna throttle up too much. When I get close enough, we'll drop out of Super Cruise and start scanning for targets. May take a little while to find one. I'll hit maybe 1 or 2 targets and then go cash them in. Some people will stay out here for hours hitting targets. You know, first of all, you're getting the hang of combat. You might get beat up a little bit, have to go in for repairs. So it's always good to do this at a place that's near a station, because you don't want to have to travel the 20 minutes to get repairs. Hello, Vlad. How you doing? How did my day go? Well, I did play quite a bit of War Robots. I did get my next prize, so I now have 2 trebuchets on my Natasha. It's increasing my sniping up. I got to back down my speed a little, or I'm going to overshoot this target. All right, and I got a little too close to the rings, and it dropped me out of super speed. Let's see, I'm probably gonna, once my drive cools down, I'm probably gonna do another hop. I'm still a little bit of a ways away from this zone. Yeah, this is kind of like No Man's Sky in a way, in that it's open world, you're free to do what you want, but it's less about grinding resources than it is about being a flight sim. So you gotta have a good touch on the controls. There's a lot of details to how you can operate the ship that I know some of. Alright, so my drive's cooled down. I'm gonna go into boost again. I'm probably gonna have to drop right out. So I'm pretty close. Yeah, I'm too close to this ring. It's okay, I'm gonna start checking out targets. I've got someone on the radar, so got another ship on the radar, so I'm gonna go find him. He's still a ways out. I might not be able to catch up to him. Now, let's target him, scan him. If you notice on the bottom left says he's mostly harmless, that's good. Oh, right away. And this one says he's wanted and he's mostly harmless. That means he's got a price on his head and he's not a very good pilot. So I'm going to deploy my weapons and go collect him. Go collect the bounty on him. See, he's not a very good pilot, so this is going to be quick. Just got to keep controlling the throttle to stay behind him. I'm actually diverting power to my weapon systems, which is going to slow me down a little. Let me drop this. And he was worth about 2,000 space bucks or credits. If you want, I've got a cargo scoop. I could actually pick up his cargo, but it's not really worth it right now. Let's see. I'm not really equipped to deal with it. If there's a piece of cargo, I swung by it a little too fast. Some more stuff floating around out here. So that, in a nutshell, is basic bounty hunting. What I'm going to do now, undeploy my weapons. I'm going to go find that navigation marker for the resource extraction zone. There it is. Head towards it till I get another contact on my scanner. This might take a little while. Let's see, I can also look at my contacts list. This is the stuff that my unfortunate target dropped. The nice thing is the version you can get on disc for the PS4 comes with the expansion pack that actually lets you land on planets and explore planets. So it's a little bit more contact, and yeah, you can explore, you can trade, you can fight. It's in that way, it's a lot like No Man's Sky, but this is less about. It's very grindy and it can be repetitive in its own way, but it's more about getting the details of how to control things. Where No Man's Sky is more about just managing your inventory of resources, which does get old after a while. I played No Man's Sky quite a bit as well, but this is a little bit more interesting. I'm going to actually hit my afterburners, see if I can get a little closer. Yeah, I think if I get a little bit more distance from the rings, I can use my high-speed drive to just close the distance to this zone. The closer you are to the extraction zone, the more space traffic you're going to get. So I do want to get a little bit closer.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, here we go. Back down the speed. I'm far enough from the rings where it's not dropping me out automatically. And I got some contacts on my screen already. I'm almost at this resource extraction point. Just need another short hop to get closer. So this is the kind of area around those rings where if I was equipped with mining equipment, I could go mining and collect up ore and go to sell it. Right now I'm just going here because it's a popular destination. I'm going to see if I can find one more target out here. If I went to one of the hazardous zones, I get more traffic, but I'm more likely to run into people that I can't handle. Because I still am in just the basic starter ship, so there's only so much I'm going to be able to take on. All right. And my boost isn't charged all the way up. I'm really cruising along at full speed. And I'm just trying to look for any kind of target ships out there that I can scan. Not every ship is going to be a valid target. If they come up as a clean record, I can still shoot them down if I wanted to, but then I'd get a criminal record and people would come hunting for me. Which, well, you know, there's people who can do that in this game. You can be a space pirate if you're a good enough fighter and have the right equipment for it. But as a beginner, you probably don't want to do that. Especially, well, right now I'm playing in solo play, so there aren't other players prowling around. If I was in open play, other players might come after me for bounties too. So I've been sticking to solo play for now while I'm still learning, and probably once I get to the point where I can afford a better ship, I'm gonna start trying out multiplayer. Alright, there's not much going on at this site. I'm just gonna... booster's taking a while. Let me boost my engine power a little bit. There we go. Alright, once I get to this, I'm only about a minute out from this marker at my current speed. So, let me get a little more engine power. So once I get to this marker, if I haven't run into anything else, I'm going to try one of the other resource zones real quick and then go in to claim my bounty. Alright. Yeah, this one's looking pretty much empty. So I'm gonna go over to one of these closer hazardous sites. This one's the closest at 1 point... Actually, this one's a little closer. 0.72 light seconds. This one's a little hazardous, so I'm probably not gonna spend very long there. Alright, we're gonna go on a high speed mode. This should be a pretty short hop.
3, 2, 1,
This site should be a little bit more active. I'm gonna try and stay below the rings. I've already backed down my throttle because it's so close. This is a really short hop. Well, in Super Cruise mode, it's a short hop. It would probably take me an hour or two doing it in regular mode. Already contacts on the screen, so this might be a better hunting ground. Hopefully nothing too intense here. One mistake I made when I was doing this offline was I targeted a ship. He came up as wanted. I really didn't look too much closer at the description when I scanned him and just started attacking him. Turned out he was with a wing of 3 ships, so I got as soon as I started going after him, his 2 buddies just came up behind me and blew me out of the sky. So that's one thing to look out for, is it'll show you on the display if he's got friends with him. So let's disengage, drop out of Super Cruise. Alright, we're in among the asteroids. Let's see who's out here. We got a couple of contacts, so I'm gonna go pick one. a little distance away. There he is. Scanning him. He's a master, so he's probably going to be too tough for me to fight anyway. He's wanted. But he's a master combat rating. So I'm not sure I want to mess with that. Let's take a look at this guy. His combat rating is deadly. He is also wanted. I don't think I want to mess with him either, if I can avoid it. There's a couple of other targets here I can take a look at. And I'm doing this with... I have nothing in my hold right now, so... otherwise they'd probably jump me if I was carrying something valuable. This target is listed as clean. So he's a civilian target. He doesn't have a price on his head. Attacking him would draw unwanted attention. Some more targets behind me. You see, this is a much busier site than the last one, so I may actually get a good target. There's somebody who's already been shooting at somebody. Yeah, that's the one we scanned earlier that I really don't think I should be messing with. This is a master level target. Somebody else up here. Expert level. Alliance Enforcer. He's probably a good guy. What I could do, this other guy who's a little tough, I could wait until somebody else starts shooting at him and try and steal the kill. This guy has a clean record. This guy has a clean record. See, this takes a little bit of patience to do. This one's deadly wanted. Well, you know what? I'm going to throw caution on the wind, and just for the sake of making a fun video, I'm going to try and take this guy down. This is probably not a good idea. This guy is more ship than I should be messing with. Yep, he hit me once and I'm already in trouble. I told you that was a bad idea. So, well, you get to see what's going to happen with insurance here. So it gives me a choice. If I had a more expensive ship, there would be a price associated with one of them. You could either start over again in a beginner ship, that's this one, that's the free Sidewinder, or your old loadout, that's your previous ship, and you notice the cost is 0 on that. That's why bounty hunting while you're while you're a newbie is a fairly safe choice. So we're going to select that. Confirm. Confirm. And it should take me back to the station where I started. So a smarter move would have been just to turn tail and not attack that guy. So let's see, I'm going to go into my Starport Services menu. If I had come back to this station with before I got shot down and could have claimed that bounty, I could go down to my contacts area and it would tell me, it would give me the option right here to claim my bounty. and I get my 2,000 credits. 2,000 credits isn't nothing, is almost nothing, so I really didn't lose much. You can see here I've got all my fuel, all my repairs. I'm going to take a quick look at the mission board, see if there's any easy missions I can fly. Let's see. Industry needs 2 units of water. I haven't done all these mission types, so I'm kind of picky about what I'm grabbing right now. It wants me to go find and buy 2 units of water and bring them back to this station. That sounds a little boring, so... Well, most of the missions that I can do right now are going to be boring ones, but... Planetary scan job. Problem with some of that's worth a good chunk of money. Problem with some of these is that they're a little too... Yeah, that's probably going to be too far for me to get to. Right now with the starter ship, it's really not... You're really kind of limited a little bit. That system I know I can get to. Black box salvage. I have to go find... I have to go search signals around. That's a little boring. Try this guy. Salvage operation. Search signal sources. And bring them back. Scan the nav beacon. Sure you have enough free cargo space to carry the required items. Cargo is Rebel Transmissions unique. You know what? I haven't done one of these yet. I'm going to try this. This one isn't too far away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this next system, scan the nav beacon there, and see if I can find these special item, this Rebel Transmissions item that it wants me to pick up. So we're going to go back out to our ship. Actually, I should go in here to my transactions menu so I can plot a course there. Come on, show me the galaxy map. So this is where we're going. I'm going to bring up this system map's not available, so I can just go there and then pick up the nav beacon. So I'm going to set a course for there. Oh, plot failed. Oh, I'm on the. This is the system I need to. I'm not paying attention to my marks. This is the system I need to go to. It's the one with the orange mark on it. Says I've got a mission there. So we're going to go here. Look at the system map. There should be a nav beacon. May not be shown on the map. That's okay. I can just plot a course for the system. Back out. Alright. Go back to the main menu, and we can go right to launch from here. Okay, get a little distance from the pad, bring up my landing gear, point in a safe direction, throttle up. gonna go find my navigation target. I'm gonna throttle up till I get some distance from the station. And we can charge up our hyperdrive. Alright, let me go to here, select the nav beacon. It's right here. I'm going to start super cruising towards it. When you come out of hyperspace, you're already in super cruise mode. Means I just have to control my speed so I get both my distance and my speed in the blue zone, so I can drop out of super cruise mode a reasonably close distance for my target. And basically I'm going to target that nav beacon and let my sensors kind of scan it, which should give me information about where to find this thing that I'm looking for this mission. And if you remember what I showed you when I was actively bounty hunting, you can actually do that anywhere. It's just, I just went to the resource extraction sites just because it's more common to find ships there. And you can see that some of them, well, the ships that you encounter may be a little hard, so you kind of have to pay attention to what it says in the lower left as you're scanning them, so you can make reasonably good decisions. Like that last target I hit, I knew that he was probably going to kill me. So we're almost ready to drop out of super cruise mode here. Okay. I'm going to close in on this beacon. That actually let me select the beacon itself. I think the white one might actually be the thing that I need to scan. There it is. So we're scanning the beacon now. What the scanners do. Okay, and the first time I did a mission tried a mission similar to this, I kind of screwed up because I didn't know where. Whoops. Sorry about that. Wrong button. Didn't know the right place to look to see my messages. So that's wartime revel. Transmission salvage operations. Finish the scan. A potential salvage location has been copied to your transactions database. Target body SLS 3. I'm gonna go back. Look at my transactions. Target body is Celis 3. This is where I want to go. That's in this system. I really don't need the galaxy map, but so this is Celis 3, and you see this would actually be a good place to, a good system to do some bounty hunting in too. Select this, we're going to go right there. Select as a target. There was other ways I could have selected that, but may as well show you that. So I'm gonna, that's where I'm going. I'm just gonna check out to see if any of these folks are worth shooting at. Clean, and he's with a wing of 2, so he's got a buddy anyway. This is probably another group of ships with a wing. Just gonna check them out and then go back to what I was doing. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time looking for targets. I'm just going to scan these guys because I know they're here. See, I think that's them up ahead. Not quite in sensor range yet. I think your sensors have different ranges depending on the environment you're in. This guy's clean, he's in a wing of 3, so that's all probably the same people. So I'm going to go back, find my navigation target here, and he's, if you notice it says greater than 1 year. It would take me a year to get there at full throttle, so that's what we need Super Cruise for.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
Just going to make sure that I actually it's actually not showing. It's actually not showing my speed indicators. If you haven't noticed, towards the bottom right there's 3 indicators for system, engines, and weapons. That's basically shields, engines, and weapon systems. You can change the amount of energy or power you're sending to each system to make your shields charge faster, or your engines go faster, or your weapons recharge faster, depending what you're doing. Most of the time you just leave it in the middle where it is. It's going to be a little interesting getting out of Super Cruise mode without the usual indicators down there. I want to angle in so I'm clear of the ring so it doesn't drop me out of Super Cruise unnecessarily. Now let me slow down. There it is. That's the target that I want. So that's where I'm going. Now, degraded emissions detected, threat 0. I'm not quite sure exactly what I got to do with it, but gotta go up to it and drop out of Super Cruise at minimum. I'm gonna have to see maybe an object that I have to scoop up with my cargo scoop. Maybe something that I have to scan. And we're almost there. My speed is good for approach. So we've got a little bit of room to do this faster. Almost ready to come out of Super Cruise. That's our canister. Alright, we're gonna extend our cargo scoop. Doesn't look like this is just a scan job. I actually have to pick it up. So if you notice, the square box in the lower left shows my target. When I have my scoop deployed, I just got to keep it as close to centered as possible and gently approach it. You don't want to go too fast while you're doing this, or it'll just bounce. Got a good approach line. Just have to make some minor adjustments to stay on. I'm not trying to do this too fast. I'm just gonna take it as it comes. You can hear the beeping starts as it gets close to tell me that I'm on. There's some other debris out here, so let's back it down a little. And we got it. So the mission critical message is probably going to be to tell me to go back to the other station. Let's see what this is. Scrap. Clothing. Alright, so I'm going to close my cargo scoop. I'm going to check my mission critical message. This one's the one I want to read. Excellent work. Bring the salvage back to us in Dahan and we'll transfer payment. So I've got to go back to Dahan 3 Metalworks Outpost, which is where I was. So we're going to go back to our navigation. We're going to go to the Dahan system. I can go to hyperdrive right from there, but I'm just gonna, it's habit, my habit seems to be to point at my target first before trying. Actually what I want to do is clear these rings. I'm gonna throttle up, go to Super Cruise. If you notice the bottom right, I've used up a little of my fuel already from the jump to get here.
2, 1, engage.
And the white part shows the estimation of how much fuel it's going to take to make the jump that I've got planned. So we're in Super Cruise, we're clear of the planet's rings. I'm pointed at the star I'm going to. We're going to engage the hyperdrive. I think technically the cargo I'm carrying is illegal, but that's okay because they'll pay me to bring it back.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so when we come out of here, I'm gonna basically just adjust course so I don't run into the sun and go find the station that I need to get to on my navigation computer. Yeah, we just want to not be pointed directly at the sun. We go to our navigation panel. The Han 3 Metalworks. Go find it. It's a open platform. It's not a space station I'm going to enter into. I'm just going to approach up to the platform, ask to dock, and then find the pad sitting on the outside of the station and land there. It's basically the same thing as landing on a big station, except I don't have to go through a door first. So you can do these low-level, relatively easy fetch and return missions to build up money. Or you can do some bounty hunting. Bounty hunting is risky and it does take patience, but if you find a better area than I was looking into to do it, you can rack up points. You can rack up money relatively fast. And just, I'll probably do, once I get enough money to upgrade my ship, will probably be the next time that I broadcast Elite. So, and then the thing to demonstrate there is that you don't just need enough money to buy the ship, you should also make sure you have enough money to cover the insurance costs in case you, well, go out there and immediately get shot down. So you want to have enough money to cover at least one run of insurance in the bank, because anything past the starter ship is going to cost a little bit of money to replace if you lose it. Okay, so we are on approach. I'm dropping speed gradually as I get closer. Before we drop out of Super Cruise. Cut speed a little more. One thing I haven't shown you, there are bases actually on planets that you can land at, or you can even just land on the planet if you pick a good spot and explore the planet with your rover. And I believe there's certain mission types that center around actually going and exploring planets, or scanning or attacking a base with your rover. That's part of the Horizons expansion that actually comes with the comes with the if you buy the disc version instead of downloading it, it comes with the code to unlock that expansion. Of course, if you just download the game from the PlayStation Store, you're gonna have to go and buy the expansion too to be able to land on planets. So, like the others, we're gonna get within 7.5 kilometers, and then request permission to land. I'm gonna throttle up a little bit so I actually get there. It usually pops you out about 8 kilometers out, so you kind of have to goose the thrust a little bit. We'll go to our contacts menu, request docking, boarding permission granted. And it's going to tell me landing pad 3. That is probably the one that's highlighted. Some of these stations have more than one, have 2 landing pads, usually a big one and a small one. And it's telling me I've gotten, well, 9.5 minutes to land up. Somebody's scanning me. I'm in the no-fire zone around the station, so if they shoot at me, I'm gonna have a problem. So one thing with these stations, like in this format, it's harder to tell if you're lined up correctly on the pad. One of the tricks is when you get close enough, if you see the numbers and they're turned around the right way, so it says 03, that means you're pointing in the right direction. If it said backwards 30, then I know I'm facing the wrong way. I'm going to start slowing down. Get lower. Whoops. Wrong button. Drop my landing gear.
Landing gear deployed.
See, once I get close enough, it'll shift to my landing hologram so I can get a better idea how far off I am. There we go. Oops. Looks like I'm facing the wrong... Yeah, I'm facing the wrong way. It looked like I was facing the right way when I came in, but my hologram is reversed. The little picture of your ship that you see in the center, right now it's at the top of the scope, but let me come down a little bit. Yeah, you should be able to see the engines from the back of it. Rotate around. I'm over the center of the target. Landing gear down. Looks like I'm facing the right way. Just adjust a little bit. I usually tend to land with my nose down too far because I like to see what I'm doing. Try to come in as level as I can. Just tapping the vertical thrust down a little bit until we make contact. Nice. Okay, you actually don't have to enter the hangar, but on a station like this where you're actually attached to the outside of the station, if somebody comes along and decides that they want to use you for a bounty, they can still shoot you. If you enter the hangar, they can't do that. So it really doesn't make a difference, but if you drop into the hangar, it gives you a little bit more protection. I just do it because I like to watch the graphics. And that whole sequence of parking the ship hasn't gotten old yet. So. Alright, so we're going to go into our Starport Services menu. And we can come down to the mission board. And you can see in the upper right, I've already got 102 credits, so I have done a few missions already. If you notice in the middle, it's telling me I can claim my reward for that mission.
Incoming message.
It'll give me an incoming message. Congratulations, you finished your message. Yay. We gave you your money. And this mission was worth 55,000 credits, so this was a good chunk of change for a relatively easy mission. Alright, and well, if you actually follow the factions, each of these different people represents different factions, and eventually, after a while, when you start getting used to seeing that, it can make a difference. What faction you're in best with can make a big difference in the missions you get and things like that, but I'm not quite ready to be thinking about that yet. So I'm just worried about making money. So I've got 158,000 credits in the bank. Let's see. I'm just going to go back right now. This station does not have a shipyard, otherwise I could look at ship prices, because I might actually have enough to go up one ship. I probably want to save up a little bit more. The other thing, after you go out and fly, especially if you do a mission where you have to do a couple of jumps, you look here, my fuel, I've used maybe about 45% of my fuel. You can see it costs 53 credits to refuel, which really isn't much considering that I just got 1,000 times that in fees. Whoops, so we're just going to tap the X button and refuel. If I had a ship with a fuel scoop on it, I could just skim close to the star and refuel. Takes a little, from what I've read, it takes a little bit of skill to do that right, but that's a way to save a little bit of cash. It doesn't seem like it's really that traumatic to pay for your fuel, so I'm not going to worry about that just yet. So that was a successful little mission. I didn't bring in my bounty, but I did do a fetch and return mission that netted me a good amount of money. If I'd stayed out there, collected 4 or 5 low grade bounties, I probably could have made the same amount of money if I wanted to stay out there for like an hour or two just farming. I think at some point, once you get the right gear and enough skill built up, that you can probably bounty hunt more efficiently. Sometimes it's a little tricky to find missions that pay well, so you kind of have to feel out what's going to work best for you in this game. Anyway, that's all I'm going to show you. I will probably be back a little later to play some Horizon Zero Dawn and continue my little adventure there, because I don't want to go too long without playing that game, because I forget the controls if I go for too long. So thanks for coming out and watching. I hope you enjoyed watching me play Elite, and those of you that are interested in playing, hope you learned something from it. Got a little bit of information to help you along, because one of the big things with this game is there really is not a manual for it. You kind of have to scrape instructions from other players on YouTube and their forums and whatnot, so and just trial and error. So the more things you can watch to learn from, the better. Well, thank you for coming out and watching and playing with me, and I'll see you around next time.